I'm at Cromwell's camp, which is just around the corner from Roundway Hill. And Roundway Hill in Wiltshire is a unique place. Water runs off it. It is a watershed in 3 different directions to 3 different seas, and that makes it unique in Britain. South, it goes to the Salisbury Avon, the river we've been talking about so much recently, down to Salisbury, then out to the English Channel. To the west, it goes to the Bristol Avon, and then out to the Atlantic. To the east, it goes to the Kennet, along to the Thames, and then out into the North Sea. It is only 2 miles from Silbury Hill and 3 miles from Avebury, and you can probably guess what I'm trying to say here. I'm not saying the ancients were hydrologists or geographers. I suspect those who did spend their time trading or raiding would know their way up and down rivers. What I'm saying is that there is a ring of rivers that go around the sacred landscape of Avebury. And I think if it was a marketplace of ancient henges, Avebury has a lot of advantages going for it. Especially we come to the Bronze Age, when these places are becoming of international interest, and then the Salisbury Avon comes into play. But people want to come from all sorts of different directions. Notice I didn't talk about the north, and the hydrology doesn't go north. It gets diverted along the Kennet. But it is there is something I want to say about that later on in this video. So we know we know before the Neolithic, we know that hunter-gatherers were moving along river valleys. That's how they found their food. There's fish. Animals need to go to water to drink, so it's an ideal way to ambush ambush deer and so on. You get more light on rivers, so the forest canopy doesn't block out the light, allowing nut trees and brambles to provide fruit and nuts. So we have these rivers, a whole set of rivers that point towards this direction. Now, way before the henges appear, you have causewayed enclosures. And you have long barrows. I've talked about this in a previous video. There's a long barrow. I can see it from here. It's about 1.5 miles away, and there are all around here are long barrows that show possession of the landscape. It shows we are here, and to anybody that comes along and needs telling that there are people here. And then, as I explained in a previous video, these people federate together and each have a section of a causewayed enclosure that have a segment. Those causeways of a causeway enclosure cut up a circle into segments, and archaeologists have suggested that those segments belong to different families, and those families buried their dead in the long barrows, and perhaps had other ceremonies, perhaps arranged marriages there, traded there, organised war there, big decisions of state before there even was a state. It's the beginning of the state we're seeing with the causewayed enclosures. And it's then the long barrows are closed up. No. And then they go out of use, the long barrows, and bigger federations form, statelets, and they start building the henges. But already a stake has been made, an importance has been described into the landscape for this area, and it hasn't migrated elsewhere. It's been important over this such long period that people are still finding their way to this area. Now they may take canoes up the rivers. There are two rivers that I would like to talk about that are connected to, that have roads leading off their end. So we have the Bristol Avon, which turns into the Marden. There's another hovering buzzard. Anyway, the Salisbury Avon goes down a headwater which ends, and then the Ridgeway begins. With the Bristol Avon, to get to Avebury, you would need to come off the Bristol Avon up the Marden, which is Mercadina in Old English, the valley of the boundary. But it has a Welsh name that survives in a place called Colston, Colston Wellington at its end. And that Welsh name is remembered in the Cal of Calston. Stone is toner, which is English for farm. The Cal is our friend Carn. It gives its name to the town beneath Calston called Carn. And we didn't, until we realised what the name of Calston was, we realised where Carn got its name from as well, and it's that river. It's the River Carn. It's changed its name to Marden in the English period, but there's a whole cluster of Welsh names in that area, which are prehistoric names. We have Quermaford, we have Cheryl. We have Carn, we have Colston, or Calston. There's a nice little cluster that survived there. And as I pointed out, we're not a million miles away from, as I pointed out previously, we're not a million miles away from Wonsdyke. which the best theory is that it was a defence of British, Romano-British, that is Welsh culture against the English. But yes, we've got these two rivers that have that lead to so the River Carn ends at Carlston, and then there is a ridgeway quite near it next to Oldbury, which runs along the ridge down towards Avon. At the bottom of that hill there's a place called Hare Pit, which is our old friend Harepath. Now that's Anglo-Saxon, but it shows us as at least a 1200-year-old road near there. That probably is part of the Harepath. There's a farm called Harepath not far away at the bottom of Roundway Hill, which also tells of an ancient road as well. So we have these ancient roads coming off the rivers. We have the Ridgeway. The Ridgeway goes down to, which I'm going to talk about later. I think it may well connect with the Thames, which we'll talk about later. But there is a network a travel network and a web, a node, a focus that leads to Avebury, to the Avebury area. Yes, a barbed wire fence is certainly a subject for consternation. I feel their pain. I understand you chaps are murderers. Is that right? That you kill more people than rabid dogs. So this is according to an article in the Guardian not so long ago. Are you telling me that you like the taste of human flesh? Or is it just very, very grumpy? So these, ladies and gentlemen, are domestic cows. They're actually quite an unusual breed. They may be Welsh blacks or something. I don't really know, but they are gorgeous. Look at them, so pretty and so damn dangerous. Can you see the danger coming off? The waves of danger coming off these beasts. Now they are 4 times as heavy as me. I know you probably can't believe that, so yeah, should one make a sudden dash for me, I might have to do a judo chop. But they've also been domesticated for 4,000 to 5,000 years, and they rely on human beings to give them, a safe place to sleep, a dry place to sleep at night in the winter, the occasional oat, and we've selected using Scientology. We've selected the aggressive instincts out of them and selected for pleasant attributes, ones of so that we can find it easy, so that it will be easy to get them into the milking shed to milk them. And occasionally, close your ears girls, when that dreadful day comes, it will be easy to get them in the van or onto the droving track. But as you can see, these are beautiful beasts, and they don't mean anybody any harm at all. 95% of the fatal injuries to do with cows is having a dog with you. Now, of course, I'm not saying don't bring your dog out into the country. What I'm saying is a dog is 5,000 years away from being a wolf, in much the same way as these chaps are 5,000 years away from being the sort of horned fellows that will take on a wolf together when necessary. So you're seeing an ancient play being played out. Hello, sweetheart. Hello. Hello, sweets. Are you thinking about killing me? Ouch, that hurt. Come on. Come on. They're not feeling all that friendly today. I better watch out. The killer instinct might take over. They're Galloways, according to the information board. There's a long way from Scotland. See you later. Right, citizen science. Right, we've got another hedge. So let's go through it. It is less than 5 meters deep. I've paced out 30 yards. Here we go. Blackthorn, elder, rose. That's 3 already. That one over there is cobnut, hazelnut. 3. That's 4. Hawthorn, 5. Some sort of maple, 6. I think that's a viburnum. I'm not sure. 7. Sycamore, 8. Done all these. 8. Ash, 9. Done all these with majority blackthorn. 9. 9, that's a lot, that's very, very old, but we have an oak as well, so that makes it 10. And that's it. So that makes, using the Hooper equation, that makes 1,130 years old. England is a very old country, or Britain is a very old country. 1,130 years old. Flipping heck.